Okay, we continue now with the next paragraph of Kriya Shema, which is Vehoya im Shemoya, which is interesting. The Gemara tells us an interesting idea. This is a Gemara in Brachas, Daf Yud Gimel Amud Aleph, where the Gemara says, Omer Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha, Loma Kodma Parsha Shema LeVehoya im Shemoya. Why is it that the order of Kriya Shema is Shema and then Vehoya im Shemoya? Says the Gemara in Brachas. I'll tell you why. The first thing you need to do is makabel ol malchus shemayim. You need to makabel the yoke of heaven. And then you makabel ol mitzvahs. In other words, the way I think to understand it in a simple level is you cannot be makabel the mitzvahs if you don't know who the mitzvahs came from, capital H. Meaning, the first thing we do is makabel the Rabbeinu Shalom as being the Melech Malchem Lochem. Then we realize that he also gave us the Torah. We need to keep that Torah. That's the mitzvahs. So that's what's going on now in the paragraph of Vehoya im Shemoya. The Chayei Adam brings down in Klal Chov Ches that when a person should pause between saying the first chapter and the second chapter of Shema, in order to have in mind to accept the yoke of mitzvahs upon himself, and then between the second and third chapter to have intention to fulfill the mitzvah of Zecha Yetzias Mitzrayim. Okay, so let's begin. It says the first words that we have to get to. That means it will come to pass that you continue to listen to the commandments that I command you today, which means listening to the mitzvahs means that the mitzvahs have a message. Okay, the Gemara in Sukkah in Memvavam and Beis tells us, why is there a double lashon? Shemoya tishmu'u, right? Vehoya Shemoya tishmu'u. It's a double lashon of listening. Why is there a double lashon of listening? Says the Gemara in Sukkah, Im Shemoya b'yoshen tishma b'chodosh. That means if you hear the old subjects, you'll also be zeicha to hear the new ones. That means that if a person does chazorah, he reviews that which he learns, then he can always and constantly gain new insight into the words of the Torah and of course the mitzvahs. La'avos Hashem Elokeichem, to love the Rabbeinu Shalom. That means all of the mitzvahs have included the ava that we have to the Rabbeinu Shalom, the Akaras HaToiv, that we have to the Rabbeinu Shalom for giving us a life and for giving us to choosing us to be His chosen nation and giving us His mitzvahs and giving us everything we have in our lives. So therefore we owe Hashem, as we always quote the Shari Tshuva, the Rabbeinu Yonah brings down, that the idea of serving Hashem should come from such intense love that we have from Hashem, from everything that He gives us. And now it says, through that love, what do we now do? We serve Hashem with all our hearts, with all our nefesh, as well as the Gemara tells us in Tainis Daf Beis. And a person should think about it when he says these words. Concentrate on the words of the Gemara. What is the service of the heart? Zuhi tefillah. That is davening. Okay? That is the idea over there. We move on. That means once we keep the mitzvahs and learn the Torah, the reward for keeping Hashem's mitzvahs is, right, we are now going to have the rainfalls, specifically in Eretz Yisrael. That means if we have rain, that means there's going to be food, there's going to be fruits and vegetables, there's going to be produce, there's going to be lots of things. Yoreh, by the way, means the early rain, and Malkosh means the late rain in the spring. So obviously each rain has its specific purpose in this world. You're going to gather all the grain, and your wine, and all the oil. I'm going to give you grass in the field for all of the animals, that they can be eaten and be satisfied. In other words, the tremendous brachas that come out just by keeping the Torah and the mitzvahs that go together with it. But be careful, meaning, once we have all the gashmias that we need and we ask for, we've got parnasa, we've got rain, we've got food, the animals have food, everything is wonderful, there is a danger, and that danger is that a person may be tempted. And that's why he's saying, after you've got all the bracha that you had, which came from keeping the mitzvahs, beware. Your heart might actually be seduced, you may come to do the wrong thing. And it's specifically, the Gemara tells us, when a person is satisfied, when he's happy, when he has everything over there, that's when a person may have lots of temptations, because there's a person that has too many earthly pleasures has no room for emistic, a real Yerushalayim. And if a person gets tempted, he may turn over there astray, and he will serve gods of other ones, obviously not referring to Rabbeinu Shalom, because that's not a god, but the other ones are not Nushaychos Bechlal. He's going to bow to them, and you're going to Kaviyachol anger the Rebbeinu Shalom, and the Rebbeinu Shalom's anger will Kaviyachol burn against you, and therefore V'otzar Shemayim will withhold all of the bracha and all the heavens and everything that comes together with that. V'otzar Shemayim v'lo yeh mata will strain the heavens. There'll be no rain. V'adam lo sit in yivula, and all the soil is not going to give the produce. V'avantem meherim ma'al ha'oretz ha'tova, and you're going to be completely lost from all of the wonderful lands that you had. Asher Hashem Noisei Nachem, or everything that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you in that case. So we have to realize what the Shema is telling us in the beginning of the second paragraph is that when we keep the Torah and we do the mitzvahs, as we know from Parsha B'chukoisai very clearly, that when we omel in the Torah and we keep the mitzvahs, we have all the brachas in the world, and we have all the satisfaction and all the tremendous, tremendous things that the Rebbeinu Shalom wants to give us will be ours. But if we don't do that, and we allow our hearts to turn astray and do the wrong thing and don't follow the Torah and don't follow the mitzvahs, then the bracha unfortunately will be reversed, it will be withheld, and Sunday we shall continue.